Good moving. Hey, thanks for being here, and let me join in on this and talk about our game November 1st against Arkansas. I actually just talked to Coach Cal. He wanted to play quarters, so I had to tell Steve he was pretty upset with it. I don't like to mess with his system, but we want to play quarters, get 4 different end of clock situations to go through. He wanted to do that. That's what they did against Kansas. So, it's November 1st. It's 7 p.m. Cook's Children's Hospital. They beat Kansas pretty good. Obviously, Dickinson didn't play. We had a couple guys out in our game, our scrimmage. So, these are the games in October, the scrimmages. But we wanted to find the best team we could play, best teams. And obviously, we did that. And who we're playing. But this is open. This is an exhibition. This is a charity game for Cook's Children's Hospital. They're doing the Children's Hospital out of Fayetteville, is my understanding. I hadn't seen that in writing, but that's what I was told. So that's going to be their charity of choice for that. So kind of want to keep, as the rule has changed and they become more prevalent, we're looking to do these, and I think I was trying to do 2 of them, and I just want to try to get the best teams we can and get started and get talking about college basketball as quick as we can, especially in Texas, as we know. So I think I saw Houston played A&M the other day on a Sunday, I think it was. So it seems to be more of these are forming. The rules kind of changed, a little bit different interpretation, and looking forward to it. So that's what I'm here to talk about, and if you guys got any questions, we can talk about something else.
What are you hoping to see most from your team?
Improvement defensively and rebounding. We knew we weren't where we needed to be a couple of weeks ago, but we won an early game and with all our new guys, and to kind of get a starting point and then move from there. But defensively, we've been focused so much on offense in the summer. Obviously we understand that I know why, with, 2% of our scoring coming back, we're in a unique situation. There's a lot of teams similar, but I don't know that anybody's got that few bounds scoring at our level trying to do what we're trying to do. So certainly a challenge going into October, but we got to keep getting better. Defending, ball pressure, I think we've had a really good 2 weeks of practice. We really challenged our guys. We've really gotten it roles, I think, a little bit better understood defensively. Philosophy, physicality in our practices has ramped up, and all the things you want to do. I mean, I don't know when we could have got to that maybe earlier, but certainly you can't go 70 days. As I said, I think before our first game, we had 70 workouts prior to that. Now they're an hour workout, and you don't have all your guys possibly in the summers, but it's an hour. It's most of those times. So there's progress to be made these last 2 weeks, and we did it.
How valuable do you think these type of exhibitions are for the team?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I think this, based on what I've seen from the first one, I guess that's a similar. So I guess that's a bad comparison, not what you're asking, Stephen. But I think how you handle a loss, how you handle wind. But this one's going to be out in front of people, and that's always there was the scrimmage. You like playing the scrimmage because you can get a better competition before, and then you like playing an exhibition game against a D2 because you got the players to play out in front of somebody, see how when the lights come on, if there's guys shooting a little quicker, playing a little differently, when there's people watching. So now you got the combination of that with this game here. So I'm glad it's the first time that we've done it. We got to have a great crowd. I mean, the reason why you're doing it is a charity to present some money to Cook's Children's, and so hopefully we get a crowd. A little slow getting the date out, the tickets on sale, I guess, more importantly, and I'm a little concerned about that, but hopefully we can ramp it up in these coming days. We've had great turnout from, and we can continue the Dickies game when we're playing Vanderbilt, and I talked to our people. We obviously Texas Tech and A&M are really the guys selling the tickets right now, but we've got to show up too strong in that game. So we're going to have a good turnout for that, but I want it to be more purple than the other colors. So, but that game is. I'd like to do 2 of these in the future if we could, based on what I know now. Maybe it changes after this, but I'd like to do 2 exhibitions and play 2 the best teams we can get, and usually local teams, Southwest Conference teams. I've kind of joked teams that we won't see as much with the realignment. So, or with our 12th realignment, I guess, since I played in the Southwest Conference. So at that point, so just I think that's obviously travel is a concern in those exhibitions. Being a bus ride would be nice. A shorter bus ride would be nice.
But this one more challenging preseason schedule you've had in Fort Worth. Was that intentional?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it probably doesn't make sense with having all the 2% of your scoring back, but it was based really on our, generally our rule of thumb has been to be a top 20 strength of schedule overall, and our conference obviously has a big play in that. That's 18 of the games. This year it's 20, but in the past 18, we knew exactly who we were playing. We knew who we were playing twice, and then also everybody's going to be 500 in conference, the teams you're playing. So now you're not playing everybody twice. You could play some teams that maybe bottom end teams that don't win as much, and then you'd be concerned about your strength of schedule. So I just wanted to err on the side of having that, getting it to that top 20 type strength of schedule in the conference and in the non-conference, and have it balanced. So the Michigan home and home. The MTU, we get Washington, and then obviously Dickies. So probably you get a name like Michigan's, all of a sudden that changes how somebody looks at it. Obviously, they're one of the top 5 historically programs as far as name recognition, top 5, top 10, and in basketball. And obviously Vanderbilt's had a long, good history, and you throw in the exhibition games and scrimmages. So yeah, it's part of, I think, the growth of our program we're looking at and trying to. But there's a balance. So it really was the main thing with balance. But with growth comes, you got to grow in all areas, and that's what we're constantly looking to change and improve on.
I think it was over a month since we last talked. What's this last month been like for Ernest? Obviously, he's going to have a big role with the team.
Yeah, I mean, we need him to be better. I mean, to be honest, he didn't play great in the as we need him to be the best big guy on the floor, and that's what we're anticipating. That's what we need. And he's been in and out with injuries. He did an appointment again yesterday, and there was nothing that they found in there that is troubling. But he didn't practice yesterday. We're off today, and we need. But I'm excited about our 2 freshmen. I think we've got 2 guys there, and Malik's a little bit of a surprise. I think I've mentioned to people because he tore his ACL last year. He didn't play his senior year. We liked him and recruited him, but we just didn't know, and they didn't practice all summer. But he keeps getting better and better. His physicality, his aggressiveness stands out. Same thing with punch. So David. So. But Ernest, he's, like we said, he's the 2% or 4% of our scoring back, and rebound and defense are the priority. We're definitely getting the ball inside more to our 5 men this year, and we had a focus on that yesterday's practice too, because we think we've gotten a little bit away from that. So. That's it's very important. He's the returning guy. He's such a great teammate and such a great kid and so outgoing, and everybody loves him on campus, and so friendly and great personality. But we need production, and that's really what we've talked to him about, and leadership. And he's such a great kid that everybody loves him, and so you got this big guy that's laughing and talking to everybody around campus. But we need rebounding to go with that too, rebounding and defensive presence. I think he's better defensively for us. We did not think he was as good enough defender last year as he could have been, and so we made real progress, especially from the weak side, the help side defense.
Is there anybody else besides Malik that's been a pleasant surprise so far?
I'd say he's the one, and that's just based on not having seen him play last year, the injury. I mean, I saw him get hurt. He was playing. It was on an ESPN game that he got hurt, like first game of the year. Didn't see him after that. The other guys are all new for that matter, but he's the guy that really stands out. I mean, we knew we were going to be playing new guys, and there was no question on that. We had high expectations for every guy because we had to. I mean, we brought him in to play, and with the opportunity to play, there were minutes available. Unique situation, and certainly unique to the programs I've had. My thing has been retention. That was people used to. How do you never have guys transfer at Pitt? How do you guys lose very few guys at TCU? Now that money's come into play, we're going to lose guys. Unless we change some things, and that's certainly the timing of it. No shocks there or anything. But retention was the strength of our programs at Pitt and early on at TCU. The rules changed, games changed, and you adapt, and you just you got to evaluate and without watching them play, watching them on film and analytics, and go from there. But for obvious reasons, not telling you anything you don't know.
Talk about strengths and adapting. At Pitt, you're also known as a defensive
Yeah.
juggernaut. Early years at TCU. Seems like the philosophy has changed to run a more wide open up-tempo offense.
We are, but we've got to be better defensively. So I would say, it was always, it's interesting, the reputation at Pitt in those 17 years, I guess 13 as a head coach, was our defense. But as people that really looked under the hood and really analyzed it, they would see that our offensive efficiency was there was the best in the country at some point. I think it was we had you could come up with all kinds of stats that would show where our offensive efficiency, and that would not lead to maybe higher scoring games, but our league tended to play with a more grinded out style. But you need to be efficient, and we were. So we've got to be more efficient playing with that pace. Defensively, we've got to be better. I think last year I thought we'd be a better defensive team. That was our goal. But for a couple reasons, I think we weren't. And that's what kept us from finishing higher. And again, when I say that, we have to be the best in the country. There's 365 teams. We are playing against the best. This is not the JV league. This is all the best basketball teams that are still here and that we're picking up when all this shuffling is going on. So we got to be when I say we got to be better, it means doesn't mean we got to be better than we have to be the best in the country to be good defensively in our league. That's the mentality, because that's what's going to win our league. Houston was the best. They won the league and probably would have won the national championship if their guard didn't go down. So they were playing as good as anybody. They lost a couple guys, including the point guard Shed. So we have to be more physical. We have to be better positioning. We have to use our depth to our advantage. But yet at the same time, what we are different than, and what our defensive philosophy is, probably forcing a few more turnovers, in turn getting us out to run on offense more and get more transition points. But we still got a defensive rebound and get push it in that way too as well.
How do you feel like the guards?
There's obviously two that have really stood out, and those were the two we expected, and that's Frankie and Noah. They have the most experience, clearly. Frankie, played on NCAA tournament teams, and we obviously played against him in the tournament. So he's experienced. He's a pass first. He missed he got hurt in the first scrimmage, and then we kind of struggled at that after that. So we need him out there. He's first practice back was yesterday, so we need him out there. Defensively, he can really disrupt, but we need him to really take care of the basketball, get other guys shots, and make open shots. And then Noah has clearly probably been our best player, most consistent player throughout practice, and so he's done the best job, I would say. decision-making, making open shots. And then Vashon's been clearly the third best guard, and he's playing well. I mean, he's the guy that's probably improved the most as we've gone. If I had to pick somebody, and Malik's was based on not playing, but like adapting and improving his game, I'd say Vashon. He had two really good practices, the last two, taking care of the basketball, played all point guard too. So he's the third guard, and which we anticipated, but we need him to. Our hope is that our three guards are better than the three guards we had last year. That's how we can be better as a team. That's how we can be better. We had three new guards last year too, as well. Bringing in new guards every year is not it's not a great formula. But that's the situation we're in, and obviously we know what that comes down to. So, you've got to develop them, then you got to be ready to keep them. Is going to be the challenge going forward.
You talked about playing that true freshman a lot this year. Is there any plan to retro?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be hard to play 13 guys. Oftentimes, it takes care of itself as things occur. Injuries get behind, but yeah, we're open to that and open to whatever it is. Again, we have 13 guys on scholarship, so I don't think we've done that the last couple of years. But that's and I talked to Cal, and when we were talking about it, I was talking about his numbers, what they've got, and they kind of looked at it a little differently. Three guys that possibly aren't brought in not to play as much, that they're 11th, 12th, 13th guys, but he said they're hurt. So, you try to plan it out, you try to figure it out. It's going to be hard to play 13. And, as we go forward, there's about 15 and possibly 15 scholarships, but no other players. And then some schools don't allow you to have their GAs play and practice all the time. Some do. Different interps on the rule. So Jeremiah asked us this rule. I said, what do you think on the change, or how do you like it? And I say, that'll be probably the first time you'll hear a coach say, I like it how we got it. And it gives us the flexibility to add some bias so we can practice. So I do worry about where it goes. I'm kind of getting off the subject here, but we were talking about that this morning. So, bodies, it's a challenge. It's been a challenge here, practicing. And some schools have had GAs practicing. Ours hasn't allowed it.
Any last question for Coach? What are you hoping will be TCU's identity this season?
Flying up and down, transition, leading the country in fast break points, but we've got to bring the identity as physicality on the defensive end, and we're not there yet. But we've got to become, and we're considered, I think, somewhat physical. When you see us, other teams see us throughout the country. I think it may be a reputation that comes with our teams. But simply put, we got to be the most physical team in the league, which I don't think we've been to that point, and that's what we do. So again, the standard is, they think they said 5 of the top 10 teams are in this conference. I mean, we're talking, this is the best men's basketball league. It's not even close, and has been doing it. And as much as there's usually discussion about it, and there'll be discussion every year. I say they talk about a different conference becoming that one at the start of the year, and at the end of the year, once the results are in, it clearly has been. Last year, I don't think we played well in the NCAA tournament. We didn't play our best. Kansas, I think Bill didn't coach. Shed gets hurt. We weren't as good in the NCAA tournament, so that could be held against us. But you gotta. There's the season. There's the non-conference. When you play other teams. Conference, you're playing against each other, then you got to perform in the NCAA tournament. We've normally done that, but not this past year. So the standard is different. I mean, like, to be good in the conference that we're in for men's basketball, it means you have to be the best in the country out of 365 teams that are putting a lot of resources and effort into basketball programs.
All right, thanks, Coach Dixon.
All right, thank you, guys. Have a great day.